Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of solace, warriors of chaos, and architects of your own trials, the moment has arrived. It's time to demolish the fragile reflections of fear and break free from the shackles of who you used to be. This isn't a cozy pep talk or a place for shallow reassurances. This is the crucible, where dreams are forged through the relentless fire of will and flesh, where you either rise unbreakable or vanish into oblivion. Today we embrace something raw, something primal, something undeniably real. The world is enamored with the idea of a phoenix, isn't it? Rising from ashes, wings ablaze, a masterpiece of agony and triumph. It sounds poetic, almost too perfect. But what they never tell you is the truth behind the flames, the unbearable heat, the choking smoke, the destruction of everything you once were. Before you can soar, you must burn. Let that truth sink in. Destruction is the price of rebirth. The old version of you, soft, safe, and compliant, must be reduced to nothing. It must perish in the fire. Don't turn away from the flames. Don't fear the heat. The pain you feel is not punishment, it's transformation. It's a crucifixion of weakness, a purge of everything holding you back. And let's not mince words. The world doesn't care if you stay buried. In fact, some people would rather you rot in your ashes because it keeps them comfortable. The weak cling to their weakness, and the cowards echo their despair. They'll whisper poison in your ear, urging you to stay down, to surrender, to let the fire consume you. But here's the truth they'll never admit. They fear you. They're terrified of the day you stop apologizing for your existence, stop seeking their approval, and finally take control. The second you stop begging for acceptance, you become unstoppable. That pain you carry, it's not your curse, it's your weapon. Every sleepless night, every betrayal, every scar etched into your soul is power. It's a strength forged through suffering, a force most people will never comprehend because they're too busy running from their shadows. But you're different. You've been crushed, abandoned, and left for dead, and yet here you stand. Your breath is defiance, your heartbeat is rebellion. The fire that consumes you is not chaos, it's cleansing. It burns away the lies, the masks, the chains. It strips you bare and asks one question: who are you? Not who the world expects you to be, not who you pretend to be, but who you truly are when everything else is stripped away. When you answer that question, you'll discover something extraordinary. You are not broken. You are not fragile. You are not defined by your failures or your pain. You are raw, unrelenting, and dangerous. You are the storm they could not tame, the fire they could not extinguish. And when you rise, the world will feel it. They'll see it in the way you move, hear it in the power of your voice. They'll tremble, not because they hate you, but because they recognize your strength and know they cannot match it. Your rise will not be polite. It will not be quiet. It will be a roaring declaration of war against doubt, against fear, against every force that ever tried to keep you down. And when you rise, you won't just reclaim your life. You'll inspire others to rise too. You'll become the flame that lights the fire in countless others who thought they couldn't escape their ashes. Run. But don't think the battle ends there. Rising is not the finish line. It's the starting point. It's not about revenge or proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Every day you'll face new flames. Every day you'll need to choose to rise again, stronger and fiercer than the day before. Complacency is your enemy, and comfort is your trap. The second you stop feeding your fire, the ashes will start to creep back in. So rise. Not because they expect you to, not because they believe in you, but because you believe in you. Rise with the fury of someone who's seen the worst and survived it. Rise with the knowledge that the fire is no longer your enemy, it's your weapon. You've mastered it, wielded it, and transformed it into something unstoppable. You are not just a phoenix, you are the fire itself. Let the world remember the day you burned down every limitation, every doubt, every expectation, and built something unshakable. Now go. Show them the power of someone who refuses to stay down. Rise, and let the world never forget. But don't stop now. You've tasted the fire. You've seen what it can do. You've felt it tear you apart and piece you back together. But this is not where it ends. This is where it begins. The world doesn't need another fleeting flame. It needs an inferno, one that refuses to be extinguished. You've come too far to hesitate. You've endured too much to look back. This is your time to unleash the full force of who you are. Let me tell you something they don't teach you. The world doesn't bend for the meek. It bows to the relentless. Your rise isn't just about survival. It's about domination. It's about claiming what is rightfully yours. And that fire inside you, it's not a flicker, it's a revolution. It's a declaration that you are here, unshaken, unbroken, and unrelenting. Think about it. The ones who tried to bury you, the ones who underestimated your strength, they didn't see this coming. They thought you were finished, but they were wrong. And now they'll have no choice but to watch as you rise higher than they ever dreamed, fueled by the very pain they thought would destroy you. They'll try to contain you, to pull you back into the shadows, but it will be futile. Why? Because you're no longer playing their game. You are rewriting the rules. This is not a time to doubt. This is a time to embrace every scar, every wound, every heartbreak as proof of your resilience. These aren't marks of defeat, they're badges of honor. Each one screams, "I survived, I overcame, I'm unstoppable." Wear them with pride, for they are the armor forged in your fire. Let the world see your jagged edges, your raw power, your untamed spirit, and let it tremble. And when they ask how you did it, don't waste your breath explaining. Let your actions speak louder. Let your victories be the answers. Show them that every time they tried to break you, they only made you stronger. Show them that their doubts, their whispers, their attempts to smother your light were nothing more than fuel for your fire. But hear this, the most powerful rise is not for revenge, but for transformation. Your fire is not meant to destroy, it's meant to create, to reshape the narrative, to inspire others who are still buried in their own ashes. They need to see you burn bright, not for your glory, but to ignite their own. Because your rise is not just about you. It's a spark that can set entire worlds ablaze. So rise again. Rise tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Make it a choice, a way of life. Defy gravity every single day. Push beyond every limit they said you couldn't break. And when you stand at the peak of what you once thought impossible, look back. Not in regret, but in triumph. Look back and see how far you've come, how much you've endured, and how fiercely you've risen. This is your story now. A story of relentless fire, unyielding strength, and an unwavering will to rise again and again. Let the world watch, let them marvel, let them fear. Because you, my friend, are unstoppable. The fire within you is eternal, and your rise is only the beginning. Now go. Burn brighter, rise higher, and never, ever look back. But wait, there's more. You've risen, yes, but don't for a second think the fire has done its job. No, it's just getting started. The truth is, this world wasn't built for the faint-hearted. It was crafted for those who dare to stand in the storm, for those who face the chaos head-on and dare it to break them. And you're not just surviving the storm anymore. You are becoming it. Understand this clearly. The moment you decide to rise, you shift the balance of power. The moment you refuse to stay silent, you change the rules of the game. The whispers of doubt that once followed you, they're silent now, drowned out by the roar of your defiance. The people who doubted you, the ones who prayed for your failure, they are forced to confront the truth, that their opinions, their ridicule, their attempts to stop you were powerless against someone like you, someone who refused to quit. But let me tell you what happens next. The higher you rise, the more the world will test you. The more they'll try to pull you back, to dim your light, to smother your fire. They'll come with their doubts, their cynicism, their fragile insecurities disguised as advice. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. They can't touch you anymore. Because what can they do to someone who's already walked through fire and survived? What can they say to someone who has transformed their pain into power? They have no weapons left, no leverage. You've burned through every chain, crushed every boundary, and shattered every limit. They are powerless, and they know it. That's why they'll try harder, but their efforts will only fan the flames of your rise. And as you ascend even higher, a transformation happens. You stop caring about proving them wrong. Their opinions no longer carry weight. Their approval means nothing, because this isn't about them anymore. It never was. This is about you, reclaiming your life, your purpose, your destiny. This is about stepping into the fullness of your power and declaring, not to the world, but to yourself, I am unapologetic. So keep going. Keep burning, keep breaking through every wall that tries to contain you. Let the fire within you blaze hotter, brighter, and fiercer than ever before. You've come too far to slow down now. You've risen too high to doubt yourself anymore. Every step forward is a victory. Every new battle is an opportunity. Every scar is a testament to your strength. It is not the end of your rise. This is a legacy in the making. A legacy of resilience, of unrelenting defiance, of a fire that no one could extinguish. You are proof that pain doesn't destroy, it creates. You are living evidence that even from the deepest ashes, greatness can emerge. And now, let the world watch as you rise higher than anyone dared to imagine. Let them see the fire that refuses to be extinguished. Let them witness a force they can neither stop nor contain. You are the storm, you are the fire, you are the rise they never saw coming, and your story is far from over. This is your era. Own it. But here's the truth you must never forget. Rising isn't just about reaching the top. It's about becoming the foundation for something far greater. When you rise, you don't just shatter expectations. You build a new world from the rubble of what tried to break you. Your rise is a testament, a battle cry, a call to arms for every soul still lost in the darkness. The fire within you doesn't burn for yourself alone. It's a beacon, lighting the way for those who thought the night would never end. Think about that. Every step you take, every chain you break, every limit you defy, it's proof that the impossible is just another challenge waiting to be conquered. You are the proof that pain can transform into purpose. You are the living embodiment of resilience. But the fire demands something more. It doesn't let you stay still. It doesn't allow complacency. That's the beauty of it. It keeps you moving, keeps you hungry, keeps you growing. You've climbed mountains, yes, but the horizon always stretches further. There are more battles to fight, more victories to claim, and more lives to ignite with your flame. And make no mistake, the world is still watching. Some are watching with awe, inspired by your rise. Others are watching with fear, hoping you'll falter. But their gaze doesn't matter anymore. What matters is how you see yourself. Look in the mirror, not the one that reflects your past, but the one that reveals your power. Do you see it now? Do you feel it? You are no longer who you were. You are the fire, the force, the unyielding storm. So what's next? That's the question you must ask yourself every single day. Not because you doubt your strength, but because your strength demands action. This is not a time to rest. It's a time to expand, to conquer, to set your sights on what lies beyond the horizon and claim it as your own. The fire within you isn't a burden. It's a gift. And with every breath, you have the power to wield it, to reshape your destiny, to turn every obstacle into an opportunity, to rise so high that even the sky feels small beneath your feet. This is your time, your moment, your fire, Now, go light up the world and show them what happens when a force like you refuses to back down. And yet, even now, the journey calls you forward. The fire that rages within you isn't content with what you've already claimed. It whispers, no, it roars for more. More growth, more strength, more defiance against the forces that dared to suppress you. Because the truth is, you haven't just risen, you've evolved. And evolution demands movement, demands action, demands transformation at every step. Look around you. Do you see it? The cracks in the walls that once caged you, the remnants of the chains that once held you back, those are the marks of your revolution. But this isn't just about breaking free, it's about creating a life that no longer bows to the opinions of the weak or the expectations of the small-minded. Because here's the secret they never wanted you to know. When you rise, you don't just change your story. You rewrite the entire narrative. You redefine what's possible. You force the world to adjust to your reality, not the other way around. And that is power. Not borrowed, not granted. But power comes with a price, doesn't it? It demands vigilance. It demands that you never grow complacent, that you never let the embers of your fire fade. Because the moment you grow comfortable, but not this time, not ever again, you've seen too much, endured too much, risen too far to let shadows dictate your destiny. When they come, and they will, you'll face them with the same unrelenting fire that carried you through the storm. They'll try to strike you down, and you'll meet them with a force so fierce it will leave them trembling. Because you are no longer just surviving. You are thriving. You are leading. And as you rise, others will rise with you. Not because you need them, but because your fire lights their path. That's the true measure of strength. Not just what you conquer, but what you inspire. So keep climbing, keep fighting, keep feeding the flames that define you. Because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs warriors. It needs leaders. It needs you. This is your purpose. Now, step forward. Face the world with your head held high, your heart ablaze, and your spirit unshakable. The time to burn brighter, to soar higher, to shatter every limit is now. This is not just your rise. It is your reign, and it's only the beginning.